Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video. So if you're a subscriber, you may remember a couple weeks ago, I had Evertune install one of their bridges into a Hello Kitty mod project I was working on, and I absolutely loved it. It's a complete game changer. You'll need someone far smarter than me to explain to you exactly how it works, but what it does is keep the guitar perfectly in tune with perfect intonation and with perfect string tension all the time. It's crazy. It's actually insane. After that project, I reached back out to Evertune, basically gushed over how much I loved the bridge and asked if they'd like to work together on something a little less stupid. And they said, yeah, sure. So they've sent me one of the guitars from their inventory that comes stock with an Evertune bridge. This is the SH-7 ET, otherwise known as Sir Headley. It's Head from Korn's signature guitar, and it is one of the highest spec'd instruments in the current LTD lineup. Now, in a way, it's actually kind of ruined other 7-string guitars for me. What do I mean by that? Let's take a closer look. Before we move further into the video, I want to give a shout out to Christoph Schaefer and the rest of the awesome patrons for helping me make this content possible. If you want to help support what I do with the honest reviews, get bonus perks, link is down below. And with that, let's get into it. Now, I'll be totally honest, I was never huge into Korn. The nu metal wave never hit China in the same way that it hit the US in the early 2000s. I mean, we kind of got it a couple years later when it started going into decline, but it didn't have the same impact there as it did over here. That being said, the few songs I remember listening to growing up were distinctively lower and heavier than songs from other bands that I was listening to at the time. The Punk Rock MBA has a really good video on this, but Head is one of the guys responsible for popularizing the 7-string guitar. And so it's fitting that his signature model comes in only 7-string form. For materials, we've got a basswood body, an actual maple cap, and a high-quality flame maple veneer with a dark, transparent purple finish. It's even got a matching headstock. It's a very classy looking guitar. The black hardware, mini offset block inlays, and reverse headstock, it's a guitar that's clearly geared towards heavier styles of music, but the visual theme is far more interesting than your standard black on black on black metal guitar. So not only does the 3-piece maple neck look really cool from the back, but you also get all the benefits of having the neck running right through the body. And one of those benefits is that this is super comfortable to play. ESP's thin U neck shape has been one of my all-time favorites for a while, and then the neck heel has been completely eliminated here, so all 24 extra jumbo frets are easily accessible. Especially for a 7-string, this is unusually comfortable. A lot of brands make their 7-strings with flat necks, which I'm not a fan of, and LTD has kept the neck on this one relatively round. It's been a while since I've had an LTD on the channel, and I forgot just how much fun they are to play. It's basically effortless. And part of what makes this particular one so special is that it is very feature-packed. It's one of LTD's more expensive models, and that's reflected on the spec sheet. It's kind of disappointing there are no brand name tuners, but the LTD locking tuners are perfectly fine. They're not actually that important because of the bridge, but we'll get to that in a second. The side dots glow in the dark, which is really cool. I don't really play guitar outside of the studio anymore, but if you're playing on a dark stage or something, they're very useful to prevent you from getting lost on the fretboard. And of course, the huge draw for this guitar is that it's a 7-string that comes stock with the Evertune bridge. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it uses some sort of complex magic to keep the guitar perfectly in tune with perfect intonation and with perfect string tension, no matter what kind of abuse you put it through. Now, first off, it's just incredible. Check this out. Now, I did a really bad job of explaining this last time, but yes, you can bend the strings to change the pitch, even though the bridge is designed specifically to keep everything as stable and as constant as possible. So the machine heads aren't actually used to tune an Evertune equipped guitar. To oversimplify it, they're used to basically change the sensitivity to changes in tension or sensitivity to string bends. So check this out. Now, while it was very, very impressive on a 6-string, I think it makes an even bigger difference and really shows its advantages in low-tuned and extended range situations. To me, the Evertune makes this feel like playing a 6-string guitar. Extended range guitars are fun, but they feel different. This guitar has almost ruined other extended range guitars for me. It's no wonder that Matt Peavey has Evertunes installed on his 7-string guitars. With a 24 3/4 inch scale length, without an Evertune, the low B can be a little problematic. There's relatively little string tension, it's super floppy, intonation can be a little funky. With an Evertune, none of that is a problem. I have heard some complaints that the springs in the Evertune ring a lot after you stop playing. I noticed it a little bit when I tried to listen for it, but it really wasn't as bad as some people were saying. I found Floyd's and like the trems on PRS SE guitars much worse. Now, LTD have recently done a sneaky thing and raised the prices of their guitars, at least most of the artist signatures that I looked at. The reason is a lot more, if not all, the high-end LTD signatures now come with cases. So the Neil Westfall NW44 is now $10.99 with the case instead of $9.99 without. Same deal with Willie Adler's WA Warbird, which still doesn't come with his signature Fluent set for some reason, but yeah, you get the idea. So while the SH-7 didn't come with a hard case in the past, it does now, and it's a really nice one. Very sturdy, nice interior plush, nothing to complain about really. It's the same one I trust with my own ESP Eclipse, and I've never had any issues with it. So Head is yet another big name metal guitarist that has been won over by Fishman Fluent's pickups. I've talked about them a lot on this channel because they're super awesome. They're really cool because to me they sound really good, they have unmatched clarity, and they have multiple voices. So it's like having 2 sets of pickups in your guitar, which you can toggle on the fly using the push-pull tone pot. Head's signature comes with a set of modern humbuckers, a ceramic in the bridge, and an Alnico in the neck. Alright, so here's what everything sounds like, first through the 6505 and then through the Marshall, because the Peavey doesn't do cleans too well. I mean, Head could have had any pickup set he wanted in this guitar, and there's a reason he went with Fishman Fluence. Voice 1, you've got that active sound. Voice 2, you've got more of a ceramic passive sound. So double the tonal options, but what I love most about them is the clarity. They are just a dream to track guitars with. I mean, they make everything just super easy, and anything that makes my job easier, I'm a fan of. It's been a hot minute since I've had an LTD on the channel. People still say that? Hot minute? It's like never made sense to me. Anyways, it's been a while since I've had an LTD on the channel, and what a guitar to get back in the swing of things with. It's a significant investment, maybe not in the general guitar world, but definitely relative to what I normally feature on the channel. However, out of all the 7 strings that I've demoed so far, this has been by far the most fun. I mean, look, it's a $1,500 guitar out of one of the most well-regarded factories in the world for attainably priced guitars. There was no question in my mind when I got it that it would be a great guitar. And even then, it managed to exceed my expectations. It's got the super comfortable thin U neck shape, it has the Fishman Fluence modern pickups, and most importantly, it has the Evertune bridge. The first two are personal preference, and then the Evertune just makes it better. It has the same benefits as you get on a 6-string, like every time you pick it up it's perfectly in tune, but specifically, I can't stress how nice it is to not have to worry about intonation or pitch drift on the low B, no matter how hard you hit it. That's something that up until now has been completely foreign to me on a 7-string. I don't dislike playing my other 7 strings, but as soon as I hit that low B on them, it's like, man, I wish this guitar had an Evertune. It just feels that much better. Like, and let's be clear, I'm not just saying something because Evertune is sponsoring this video. That's not how I roll, but I definitely emailed them after I played this guitar for a bit and was like, so what kind of discount do I get on an Evertune install again? So actually, on that note, using the code Agufish12, Evertune is offering a 12% discount on all retrofit installs and on most of the guitars with the Evertune pre-installed on their web store. As far as I know, since they're quite a small company, they don't offer specials that often. So if you've got a guitar that you love but maybe has intonation problems or you can't keep it in tune for the studio, this is a pretty cool opportunity. In the store, they also offer everything from Tellys to Strats to Les Pauls, all at a 12% discount. Again, use the code Agufish12 at checkout, and I'll leave a link down below. So if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and hit the like button. These are of course just my opinions. I'd love to hear yours, so leave them down below, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. You can also turn on notifications, that way you don't miss a single piece of content. Thanks to Evertune for sponsoring this video, and to Luke for mixing everything. You can find links to all the gear and social media down below. As always, thanks so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll see you for the next video.